Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here. Publicly Buzzed Live is on the air, coming at you tonight. With me is Chris Dewitt, and we're going to be talking about an insane story. Anybody that's checked out the new, which I have not yet, this new series that's on Netflix, Dirty Pop, yeah, you're in for a crazy story. Chris Dewitt has all the details. If you have not yet, hit that like, share it out on X. Really appreciate that. That really helps us out. Coming at you.
Let's rock.
Yo, everybody, what is happening? Publicly Buzzed Live is on the air, coming at you tonight. Dan the Man, it's his birthday tomorrow. He is taking tonight off, and we are both taking off tomorrow. Just want to let everybody know real quick, Frill Friday. This is basically actually Frill Friday tonight. We're going to be heading over to Kick. We're going to be watching a movie. We're going to hang out here for just a little bit. Yeah, welcome in. I got Chris Dewitt back here, and yeah, let's get him in here. Let's see what's going on. Make sure I hit the right thing, because I've got so many fucking things. Boom! What's up, Chris?
What's up? I want to say boo to Dan.
What about I may need you to go in and come back, go out and come back in, Chris.
All right.
Give me 1 second here. Yeah, something happened with the audio there. He had I could see him, but he disappeared out of my little box there. But yeah, welcome in here, everybody. Please hit that like. Really appreciate that. Really helps us out. If you do see this on X, on Twitter, share that out. Let people know tonight. If you were watching, here he is. Let me get him back in here real quick. Yeah, I got you. I got you right now. I'm gonna get you in here right quick. Sorry about that, everybody. Yo.
Oh, we're here.
There he is. What's up, Chris?
Hey.
So, who was watching TRL back in the day?
Yeah. Seriously, you're gonna get a blast from the past tonight,
dude. If you were voting for NSYNC, for the Backstreet Boys, which I was kind of reading a little bit about them, Chris. I know you're going to get deep into this, but bands like that. I don't know how many people he represented, but I know he represented both of them as managers, right? Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
It's yeah. He had a stable like of artists. Some made it big, some kind of flopped. We'll talk about it.
But they kind of found out, pretty early on, right? Like 99.
Yeah. They found the NSYNC and Backstreet Boys got away from him pretty quickly, but the damage was done, and the media just perpetuated him as the boy band impresario, and people kept coming and signing with him, and he kept fucking them over.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we're going to get deep into that tonight with the movie that we're watching, which was, again, funded by him being a scumbag, right? Like, so this goes deep.
So yeah, we're okay. So let me give a history on Lou Pearlman and why this movie is going to be so crazy. So Lou Pearlman's from Queens, New York. I think he was born in 1954. He grew up in Queens. Had one friend, this guy named Alan Gross, who got him into blimps, airships, and so Lou Pearlman grew up. I believe he graduated as a CPA, and he started a business kind of a helicopter taxi service, which his professors in college were like, when he pitched it as I think his final or something like that, or his something, and they were so impressed that they were like, you should really consider turning this into a business, and he did. And so he was flying people around, and then he started a company called Transcom with an M Airlines, where he was shipping checks around. I guess because when the check is not in the bank's accruing interest and not the person or something like that. So they get more money when the check clears faster. So he would have planes like fly checks, cross country and whatever, and it cleared. So, smart guy, very business savvy. Was known to lie and exaggerate a lot since childhood, but there's always a little kernel of truth. They weren't like always full lies of commission. So a lot of it, he would just, it was spin. This guy was a politician.
He'd have been that guy way back in the Western days, going town to town.
Oh yeah,
snake oil
sure.
salesman,
He
right?
would he would have been the best salesman the Wild West had ever seen. He would have been walking down the street, $20 in his pocket, which is what, like 40 million today.
God, yes.
So Lou Pearlman, he started those businesses. They were going good. He started a fake business called Transcontinental Airlines, which he basically leased planes and like worked as the middleman. He took like planes from other people he didn't own, and then he like rented them out to celebrities as like private jets. And but he didn't own any planes. And then he started an employee investment savings account, which he said was insured up to $100,000, blah, blah, blah. So these people thought and there was 20% return on their money. Sounded great. So all these people gave him money to invest because they were seeing reports that Transcontinental Airlines was producing $80 million a month, and all this. So they're like, oh, our money's safe. And it's backed up because this guy owns like 30, 730 Boeing 737s or whatever.
Yeah.
So he started getting people to invest in an employee in basically a savings account. There was no savings account. All the money from this employee investment savings account went into Lou Pearlman's slush fund. And then on top of that, he later committed massive amounts of bank fraud as well. But he did this, and then he had his own company, Airship International Limited, which he started with his friend. His friend had left the company on, pretty rocky terms with Lou fairly early on over Lou. I mean, almost certainly committing insurance fraud by having a cheap blimp crashed and having it insured for much more money than he did. And they explain this in the documentary, but they don't go into great detail. Basically, he got like a $10,000-$20,000 blimp, a couple grand, and then at the last minute, he sent a memo to the insurance company talking about the changes of the blimp and all this. And I guess they didn't change his premium, and he didn't argue about it. And when the blimp crashed, they didn't want to pay him out for the amount, but he covered his ass in court. Lou was very, very smart.
Wow.
And he got fat paid.
Look at
basically insurance fraud. And then from that, he started leasing real blimps, and he really got McDonald's and MetLife and all these people. McDonald's, this was the first time they had ever advertised on a blimp. That was from Lou Pearlman meeting
What the
dude
fuck?
from McDonald's. Yeah. And when you see the McDonald's blimp, you can look up on Google, McDonald's blimp, an old picture will come up of it soaring through New York City. That's Lou Pearlman's blimp. So this dude made legit money as well. He was just making money all around.
Wow.
But he had his friends from Queens work for him. Yeah, that's Lou Pearlman's. There you
What
go.
the fuck?
Uh,
Yeah,
so
notorious boy band manager Lou
yeah,
Pearlman gets his first.
so even at this time, he had already been scamming people for years with his employee investment savings account and people investing into Transcon Airlines, which didn't own any plane airline that never owned any planes. So they were just like sinking money into Lou Pearlman's pocket. Lou Pearlman was, if people don't know a Ponzi scheme is like you get investors and then you have to keep new investors coming to pay off the old investors. And that's how you keep the scheme running. When people start asking for their money back, it crumbles. And then
Yeah.
so the Ponzi scheme falls apart and everything. That's what happened to Lou Pearlman, but he kept this going for nearly 30 years. And
Wow.
just having new investors come in and just like he was such an amazing con man.
Oh
Um,
shit. Yeah.
he committed fraud, forgery, all sorts of shit. He had an accounting firm or an auditing firm that audited, so his all the statements his investors were getting, were audited by this separate firm. No, this was Lou. Lou created a fake auditing firm and had it running out of a fake address and had a fake phone number attached to it. And it was called Cohen and Siegel, named after Mickey Cohen and Bugsy Siegel, the old time gangsters.
Wow,
Lou
dude.
Pearlman was
This
very, very
pin, that'd be a
sick.
cool pin to have, actually.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Dude,
um,
that's
but
fucking crazy.
yeah. So Lou invested over time. All of his blimps started crashing, right?
Okay.
And he
Right, he
got
couldn't.
tired
He
of.
didn't have the money to actually put
So
repairs into it or
he was getting
maintenance.
insurance payouts from these and stuff. So he was in 1992. So I met a. It was one of the first two men chosen to be in the Backstreet Boys. His name is Burke Parsons. He quit the group right away. He was in for like 2 or 3 months. Um, so Burke told me that Lou had told him that he met Maurice Starr when he was, doing the private jet shit. And Maurice Starr was the guy who created New Edition and New Kids on the Block, like the OG boy bands. And New Kids on the Block was huge at the time. And Lou found out how much money they were making, and Maurice Starr gave him the formula to make the boy band and said, "Yeah, this is easy. All you got to do is get 5 kids who can, sing and dance, and like sing in a 5-part harmony and dance, and they all have a different look, a distinctive look." And Burke told me he was like the boy next door look, and then AJ's the bad boy, and so
Right.
on.
They all had a vibe. Yeah.
And they all have their separate personalities, a flavor for everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, watching it,
And
they're like,
then
oh, I'm attracted to this guy. Like,
yep, and then so Lou, people say in the documentary, and people say that Lou funded the Backstreet Boys, which was his first boy band, with
that's insane.
stolen money. It was not. He went in half on the business venture with a legitimate business partner who is a legitimate heir. And he was born. This kid was born. This dude was born rich,
Right.
but he made his own. I think when he was like 21, he had already made his first millions. Like the guy, and it was all legit. And he actually lost some money to Lou.
Of course.
Yeah, his name is Julian Bencher, but he put up half of the $3 million that it cost to create the Backstreet Boys. So they do this, and they have a formula. They take Backstreet Boys to Germany. They got them a record deal, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. They find out later that Lou's been ripping them off. I believe their lawsuit alleged that Lou took 10 million and paid them 300,000 to split between them.
Yeah, I think I read something like that. Yeah, when I was
Yeah.
I was like, that's so
Um,
crazy.
so they got out of their contract, but
That's
had to
so
pay
greedy.
Lou. They had to pay Lou $30 million to get out of their contract with him. And going forward, even after that, severed all ties, he still gets 1/6 of what they made, of what each member of the Backstreet Boys made going forward, because he made himself 1/6 member of the group, which
Wow.
makes it contractually much harder. So to this day, I don't know where his royalties go now, but Lou Pearlman is 1/6 Backstreet Boy in financially, and same with NSYNC. Basically the same settlement. I think there's a little more money paid out on NSYNC, and I think they paid closer to 35 million. But Lou got fucking rich off these
Dude.
boy bands suing him to get away from him. because they were getting $500 every 2 weeks, and he was making millions. They
Yeah,
had
dude.
records at this point, you know.
That's
So
insane.
he was fucking them left and right,
What a fucking
and
scheme,
then
dude. That
yep,
went on
and
for
then
so
he
long.
yeah, and then so in after these payouts, now Lou is legitimately mega rich, right? And he's still fucking people over, and he's still stealing people's money at a
Bro. He
crazy
could
rate.
have really just turned it into being legit and probably been all
So,
right at some
so
point.
no,
Like,
so hold on. He started a crazy amount of it. So I grew up in Orlando, and it was legit. Like this dude was powerful, and he was in with politicians. He was a very powerful Republican donor.
wow.
Paid a lot of money to Republican politicians, and there's even some scandal alleged in that stuff. But he was very, very, very extremely powerful. Like as powerful as a politician, more powerful than a mob boss. Powerful. So he started a bunch of legitimate businesses. He had a pizza restaurant in downtown Orlando. He had a nightclub. He had a steakhouse. He had TCBY frozen yogurt restaurants. He bought Chippendales, you know, the male like shirtless dudes
Yeah,
that
yeah.
dance. He bought them in like 1996. He
Wow.
bought a huge portfolio of companies. I think he had like over 80 companies or some shit like that when he was arrested. But so all of it, you know, he comes down. He's in Florida where all the retirees are with all their life savings,
Oh,
and he goes,
dude.
"Hey, give me that money. You get 20% return on it. Look how successful I am. Look how good I'm doing. Don't you want a piece of this?" And they buy in. He takes their money. They don't, you know, get shit in the end. Everyone's money disappears. He starts stealing money from banks, saying, "Hey, look at all this money." Blah blah blah. And they're like, "Here's $15 million loan," you know, and he took out several of them. And, you know, all told, he stole like $500 million from investors, but he had a huge portfolio of companies. And that was his whole thing was, I have all these companies. They're all successful. I'm successful. Buy into this, be a success with me. We're all family. And then another thing he did was he brought people along and made them executives in his company that had no business having the titles they did and making the money they did. But they were ignorant to what Lou was doing. They didn't ask too many questions, and they did as they were told. So
Yeah.
he was able to keep everybody at arm's length so he could continue all this thing. And, you know, so this movie, we're going to see the two lead actors in it are not actors. They were associates of Lou Pearlman. A lot of the people in the movie are associates or people who work for Lou Pearlman. Um, a lot of shit you see in the movie are Lou Pearlman's. This is like an infomercial saying, "Hey, look how great I'm doing." This was on the Disney Channel. He put 20 million of his own money into this. It was on the Disney Channel, and and so he can say, you know,
So yeah, he's got like Britney Spears, Justin
the
Timberlake
kid.
popping up in
Oh, the
this.
cameos are insane.
This is
But
crazy.
he spent 20 million. He lost $18 million on this
Gilbert
film. It
Gottfried.
doesn't matter. It's a vanity. He wrote the film as well. He wrote it,
Oh
and that tells
God.
you a lot. That's going to tell you a lot. And the guy, the other starring character who co-wrote the film with him, is not an actor either or a movie writer. He was a shady stockbroker who sold $17 million in stock in Lou's blimp company, and the guy later got suspended. I think by the FDIC or somebody, and like fined and all this shit. He was just like a shady stockbroker, and he's dead now. His name's Tony D. Camillus, but he co-wrote and starred in this movie. And funny enough, part of the plot line is like stock fraud in the movie and stuff. And Lou Pearlman plays a cop. It's very strange. It's very strange. I think he was like either making fun of it or he was like it was like an inside joke just to him or something like that. But also it was an infomercial to sell his business. And it's also a look what I achieved, look who I am, look what I can do.
Right.
Like it is a love letter to himself kind of thing, like a like I finally made this is my moment. It's, you know, his manifesto, if you will, but it's also an infomercial. It's also
Get in here, Jay. What's up,
Jay
dude?
is Jay's the best.
Jay's the
Um,
best.
so yeah, but the movie's crazy. So the movie is basically, him showing off his plethora of businesses and success on the Disney Channel to try and, probably bilk more people out of money. And it's showing off all the famous people he knows and how cool and powerful he is and how, it's a legitimate $20 million film. It's got like some budget to it and shit, So it's not a rinky dink, production. And but we're gonna talk about it. Like there's some actors in it, but there's not a ton. A lot of people are just connected to Lou Pearlman, and which is
I
interesting.
saw Gilbert Gottfried in there.
He spent $20 million.
I love
He
Gilbert
spent $20 million on a film just to put his friends and shit in it. Like this was who Lou Pearlman was. Like if that's not a fucking like mob boss move, like if you can't see John Gotti doing that, like that's not like a legitimate like, oh, I'm trying to make money venture off this. Like this was Lou Pearlman had several ulterior motives here, and I'm gonna break every single fucking one of them down.
And if you are not yet, that is only going to be seen right here on kick.com/publiclybuzzed. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat real quick. Also, as we move over there, the will is in play. I think we have a couple of names. And one thing I need to shout out real quick, I think I missed one on Tuesday night from Kelly Bobelli. So I've got her on the new wheel. There's 2 names ready to go on there. And yeah, if she's in here, I wanted to apologize because what had happened was, on my Cash App, I had to like do some kind of weird update, and it was just lurking back there. So she's in here. Thank you so much. I think it was a 5 spot. And then just now coming through here, I'm just going to say, Katie, welcome in here. $10 through the Cash App. And she said, yo, much love. Katie, you are going to get on the wheel. So hell yeah, a chance to win a shirt. And we have we have some new merch in the shop as well. I'm going to go ahead and show that off real quick before we jump over to Kick. Right here, the new Me Outer Church merch happening, which is already selling like
pink one. What would you say?
Didn't that shit pop?
Salmon color? Like what is that?
I think so. I don't remember what it actually made it, but dude, it pops hard though.
I like it.
So yeah, you have a chance now, Katie, to win any shirt you want. Actually, any T-shirt. So right here, you could win this Me Outer Church shirt that's new happening. That's from Phil. And also, I'm going to plug Phil real quick. Tayo Toys. If you're not following him on Etsy, do so. And you can get any kind of customized car or automobile with your name.
You almost said shit. You almost said customized shit.
It's customized stuff. Yeah, I almost said shit for sure.
You can't treat the sponsors that way.
And yeah, he's a total sponsor. So make sure you go and hit him up. I mean, this would be cool for birthdays. I mean, who wouldn't want your business or a name on a fucking car? So hell yeah. And last night, some Tiff Knox won the Me Outer Church van that he was so kind to donate.
That shit was so dope.
Right? So, yes, in this motherfucker, guys. So, all right, I'm going to keep my eyes on everything, but we will be heading over to Kick. I'm going to give you all just another moment. I'm actually going to make sure I'm not missing anything over here. I am not. Okay, we are called up. So right now the new wheel is Wildside, Kelly, and now Katie. Katie, thank you so much. That's a new one that's come through the Cash App there. Yeah. Make sure you're following this spot right here. We are at 272 followers on the Kick machine. We're approaching 300. We have a wild Friday nights over there, and tonight's kind of a preview of that, actually. This is a pre-Feral Friday. This is a Feral Thursday. That's what's happening right now. A very rare occasion that we're watching a movie on a Thursday night, so... yeah, we're about to jump over there right now, Chris, dude. Yeah, as you can already tell, he is knee deep into some Lou Pearlman history, which is crazy and already blowing my fucking mind.
I'm ready.
So, boom. All right, everybody. Let me see here. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything in the chat. I see Kaylin. Where's the Pickles hanging and banging? Where's the Pickles came through and bought a shirt. Thank you so much. I saw that. Pokemom. Yeah, I think she won a past van, which is dope. And then Jay hanging and banging in the chat. Thank you for coming through here tonight, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah. All right, guys. We're heading over to Kick. You better come over there. One more time. I'm going to put it in the chat.
We're not waiting.
Boom. There we go. Okay, see? I'm glad I waited just a second. Ember Burns. What I just put there on Friday night, same place, kick.com/publiclybuzzed, same place as Feral Friday. And if you're already following over there, you should get an email. So they're pretty good about it over there. All right, we're heading over there right now, folks, and we're going to start this full movie, Long Shot, by Lou Pearlman. Insane cameos. Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake. Are you ready for this? Gilbert fucking Gottfried. Let's go.
Pittsburgh.